Hello, everybody. It's Ken Faulkner, and I'm back with another fancy, expensive, premium knife video. Expensive for me, everything's relative, right? I mean, you got people that live in, apartments, people that live in nice houses, people that live in mansions, we all, it's all at different levels, right? But this is pretty, certainly for me, pretty high level, pretty high level. We are talking about the Custom Knife Factory Evo 3.0 M390 steel, titanium handles, and it is a beautiful knife. And it's been carried in my pocket, in that front pocket, all week long. So, starting last Monday, all the way through today, and yeah, I got to know it. I got to know it a little bit better. It's been in my collection for a while. But yeah, there's a couple things that I actually discovered, and you spend a little more time looking at the details. And for me, when you get into a more expensive knife, that's a good knife that has a reason to be expensive. There's a lot of details. There's a lot of little things about it, um, like the pivot. It's got a humongous. I think it's a T25. I actually, didn't look at the number of the bit, but it was the largest bit in my little CRKT, driver. Fit perfectly. So I think it's a T25, but it is just huge, huge. So I mean, they go to and it's on both sides. But what happened was I was carrying it the first day, and this thing has been notorious for being a dropper, for like dropping. And part of it is that it's super smooth. Part of it is that it's on bearings, obviously, um, and it tended to come down. You see that little point there, right there at the end of the choil, come down right on that thumb, and it was just the slightest bit loose, and tighten it up. It's solid as a rock now, and it's even a little. It's still droppy, definitely droppy, but it's just it doesn't quite dig into the thumb as much as it did. So for me, that's actually better. I've always been a big fan of these grind lines. Just I mean, you see grind lines on knives, but this is just like next level. It's just so, I mean, because they're so distinct, you would see if there's like any variation in the angle of it or anything like that. You would definitely see it show up because it's just that clear of a grind here, both sides. Look at that thing, both on the chamfer and on the blade, and it is hard to see on camera. I was just trying to kind of figure out how I could show it, but it does come down extremely thin, um, very thin with this hollow grind. Amazing. The amount of detail. I mean, I know I was really surprised when I found out that the parts are made in China, because I thought it was a Russian knife, but it's assembled in Russia, or is it some other kind of that Eastern European or or Asia? I guess that it's Asia. I don't know. Up in that area, maybe it was like some other country. I should have really kind of looked that up. I know I did at one point, but my memory, but it's somewhere up there. Look at also the grinds on the milling on the handle. It's got that bark look. Not super. I mean, it's not like really super bumpy when you go across here, but you can feel it. But you can see it so well, and it's not like it's all super uniform. it gives kind of like very much a custom kind of look to it. So I don't know how much detail is done on these parts. Um, Other things, the clip works extremely well, nice and long, um, and it's stiff without being hard to get into the pocket. It's got a nice ramp on it, and works very, very well. The lock bar um, has this kind of jimping on here, and it's chamfered as well. It's fairly wide because the blade's kind of thick, so you got no problem, and it's really easy to grip. And just that little jimping that's there, I mean, like if I push here, I can feel that it would slide a lot much easier. Right here, it just grabs, and it just is super easy. These little details, I think it makes a big difference, especially when you think about how much you spent on it. But it's got this gear back spacer, and it's got like this kind of light purple anodized, not anything too harsh, but a little pop of color. Then this jimping up here on the blade, it's fairly big and deep, but it's not like it hurts anything sliding over it. It doesn't really necessarily take any skin with it, but at the same time, it's got a really good traction to it, and it's great placement for gripping it. Forward finger choil works really well. Yeah, it's in the back position here. It feels really good because you got that on the handle scales too. The stop pins, I kind of like appreciated it and really kind of spent some time with it, thinking about it and feeling it. It's such a solid knife, and having the stop pins out on the side like that, it just kind of cradles it so nicely. When when it's open, it just feels super solid, especially when you have the pivot tightened down enough. But it's really solid. It's almost like it's got a wider stance to it. It's like if the pin were on the inside, it's like it's a smaller area, but with one on either side on the outside. Excuse me. It just makes it so solid and just just cleanly, the fit and finish, the fit of those stop pins, and then look at the thickness on the other stop pin. So when you close it, it lands right on there. So it's in that curve of the finger choil. It lands on that big, monstrously thick. And it's not really focusing well, but you can see how big that thing is. It's a big, big stop pin. Makes a nice acoustic. Really nice acoustic. And very solid. It's just been a joy. Another thing that I learned about this, I'll get the vault case out of the way. And it was funny, and I found this with a couple knives. Shaman was one. Some other knives. You look at it, it's got that great jimping, and I don't think that it was really intended, because I think they would have made it so it was much easier to do. But you could actually, I knew it was going to be trouble on camera. You could actually front flip from here. It's not very high up on the pivot, so that makes it kind of harder. The angle's not so good. But because it's got such good grip here, you have to give it a little bit of wrist. And it is, when it's not on the camera, it's definitely easier because your angle with your hand is a little better. But and I can't hit it every time, and that's why I think it wasn't intentional. But you could actually front flip that thing. The holes on here, got a nice chamfer around the inside of that elongated hole. It just feels like perfect size. Sometimes you get a big cutout and your finger kind of slides or gets lost or kind of goes too deep in there. This, or sometimes you just don't hardly have enough room to get your finger in there. This one feels very, very comfortable. Like here's the proper angle, but when you're trying to do it on the camera, you're all sideways. You can still do it. Actually, and because of the chamfer, I think, I'm really kind of getting used to doing the thumb on a hole, on a blade hole now, and this one's fairly easy. It's got that nice larger end of the slot there, right where your thumb would land. And even if you slip off, you got that you got that stop pin. So definitely easy to get the thumb flick on this thing. No flipper, so you don't have to worry about it, you know, showing up out here. And it just even looks beautiful closed. It's just really impressed with this knife. I mean, I loved it before I had it. I knew I wanted it. I got this incredibly sweet deal that I couldn't pass up. Still a lot of money, still felt it in my wallet, but I have never looked back with regret over getting this knife. It is just really a great knife. I mean, really, it's got so much fine detail to it and design, and just the effort put into the blade. I just really like that blade shape. The hollow grind. It looks very much like a fantasy knife to me, and it's kind of where I started when I was a kid. It cuts. It's very slicey, but it's thick enough to be solid. I did some whittling with it. It worked really well. Actually, when I was whittling with it, it was just like taking just like bark off of a little stick, just little slices, and it would take the bark off. Really just thin pieces. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to say. And the thing is, I'm wondering about how the rest of it's going to go, because I am so impressed with this one. Speaking of the rest, this is the first of the Faulkner 5. And it's been a great week. But moving on Monday, which is tomorrow. And Chris Reeve is up to bat with the Nkosi. I always thought about getting the I'm blanking on the name of their most popular knife. I don't know why. I know why. My brain just does that. I mean, things that I really, really know won't, especially when I try hard, they just won't come. So let's see. Chris Reeve. And what's the first thing that comes up when you look at it? Sabenza, of course. I know the name. I know it. It just was popping around in my head, and I couldn't grab a hold of it. Anyway, I got the Nkosi because I like the fact that it had the thumb studs on both sides. Made a big difference to me. Even though this isn't so much about the flicking, it's more of a slow roll, smooth action type knife. But still, it means more to me to be able to at least have that option. It's not easy to do, actually, and I don't know if these thumb studs are the best for flicking, and maybe that's on purpose because they kind of like pyramid up and then they're kind of round on top. They do fine. It's not, and we'll talk about it more next week. We'll see how my experience is. The inlays are very cool. I just love the inlays. It's just such a cool look. That blasted titanium, all the stuff. I opted to keep the lanyard. It just feels like part of the whole, what you think about when you think about Chris Reeve. So anyway, super excited to really just delve into the quality. I've seen these taken apart. I haven't really taken this one apart, but it's pretty amazing, some of the features on the inside. I probably won't take it apart. It's just like I'm almost afraid to, but I don't know why. It's a fairly simple knife. I mean, it's got washers, and the washers seem to be like kind of embedded into the scale. So, but yeah. Anyway, no need to really go on and on about this guy yet, and hopefully I've made it clear how impressed I am with the Evo 3.0. So ready to go into the next week. So far, it's been a big success, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to Blade Show because we're down to 4 more weeks, and then a short week before, you know, that last week. All right, guys, let's wrap it up, and I will see you on the next one.